What is up, everybody? What is up? That intro is actually the intro. If you were on the show last week, you would notice that we did not have an intro. We just went straight face on everybody.
Right into it. We're just going
Yeah,
right into it.
I downloaded the show to do reels with, and for the first 2 minutes it was black, and I'm like, man, it didn't record. I was panicking, and then I'm like, wait a second, there was a delay, so let me had to fast forward it. It was pretty crazy, but yeah, that's the intro. Thank you for tuning in for the Typical Browns Fan podcast. I got Sam with me, who is on the Browns Morning Brew Saturdays, 10 a.m. And actually, this Saturday is a special show, Sam. Who is your guest this week?
We got Lance Ryland coming from 92.3.
Yeah, he's going to come and talk about draft and free agency. Actually, I'm excited about it. I'm definitely going to, hopefully I can tune in. My kids don't, interrupt me and disrupt
I'm
me.
curious to see how things are going to work out. Angel, we have we talked with Logan, trying to make sure today that everybody's a go because it's a lot of guys. So, we're talking me, Mike, Logan, and Gary. So there's 4, and then you had 5. You're kind of looking like the Brady Bunch beginning. And just to make things simpler, we didn't want to cram too many. And then, everybody. So I was trying to see who was ready, who's going to be ready, so Logan might not be a go because he's not feeling good. And our guy, Mike, is not feeling good. He might not be a go. So I do not know right now, but I know I will be up and at him and ready to rock. Hopefully Mike can, he's been sick. And I think Logan's, I don't know if you guys are out kissing each other or what. I don't know. But.
Hey, both are sick.
That's
a little something.
Them's my dudes. I'm just playing with you guys. I bust on y'all. And then Gary, hopefully Gary will be on. But yeah, we'll see, man. See how that works out. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I was watching some of the previous stuff that he was doing on 92.3 and just listening to things, man. It's cool, man. It's like, it's like big time. That's big time,
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. I got excited that he confirmed. We got some questions for him. Hopefully he can answer us. I'm excited. I like his analyst from the draft perspective and free agency. He's a big draft guy. So it's going to be cool to you guys to ask some questions about that. So tune in tomorrow. He's going to be on with the Browns Morning Brew guys at 10 a.m. And you can get some insight. Now it's draft season, right? We went from free agency. Now we're kind of turning the page a little bit. Everyone's seen what the Browns have done. We're going to talk about that free agency, what the Browns did with the offensive line, and some other pieces they added or continued to extend a little bit. So we're going to do our mock drafts at the end of the show. 3 rounds, no trades, just straight pick 'em. So tune in for that. You guys can tune in, give me your takes on that. We're going to talk about this Jason Lloyd, Shedeur Sanders comment that was made. We're also going to talk about Max Crosby's trade being canceled due to, poor physical, depending on what you believe or not believe. Brown's annual adjustment for insurance. We're going to talk about. They got some more good news as far as the cap space is concerned. And yeah, mock drafts. That's about it. But before we go into that, I got a couple of announcements. First one is our draft party. Don't forget about it. Mark your calendars, man. We're going to be there. I'm going to be excited to see Sam's face when Ty Simpson is picked for your Cleveland Browns. So you got to be there when the Browns pick a quarterback and you see Sam go just insane throwing tables at PJ McIntyre's. You want to go there. You want to see it. You don't want to see the recording on Facebook. You want to say, I was there when Sam did this, when they picked Ty Simpson.
It's probably a good thing. It's probably a good thing if that happens that Sam don't drink no more. Sam's been a sober cat here for a half year now. I've been working on that, but I don't know. We don't need to mix another quarterback. That's how I feel, right? This year, I don't think that we need to be flirting around with another quarterback while we have other things we need to patch up. I mean, we got to see where Shedeur stands and how all that's going to play out with, the quarterback competition and Watson. I just don't want to put another guy in the quarterback blender and then just blending around all training camp. I don't want to do that. We did that last year, and then we'll see how things go. But next year's draft is supposed to be a quarterback draft class. So
we'll see how that works out.
With that being said, we'll see. Yeah. Please don't pick a quarterback, man. We don't need more stuff.
Seven draft ends.
More vet. Maybe draft one more, or not draft. Pick up one more vet. Sign one more vet, maybe. So.
Yeah, we'll see what they do because they might need a camp arm, so they might even get an undrafted guy in here just to throw the ball a little bit. Yeah, it's PJ McIntyre's at Cleveland, Ohio, Lorraine Road. We're going to be there with the West Park Browns backers. It's going to be a fun event. It's free. You come in, you drink some food, you eat some food, drink some drinks. Meet us. We may even get you on a mic to get your analyst or your take on where the Browns should go, who the Browns should draft, and then maybe even interview you about the draft, who if you like to pick or not. So tune in, come in, tune into our socials for that to remind you. Second announcement is I'm very proud to announce this. Not only because there's ties to this sponsor, a new sponsor of the Typical Browns Fan podcast is Rest and Renew Counseling. That's right. Listen, I know we're men. I get it. We don't want to share our feelings. We're tough. We got strong skin. We don't cry. We don't do any of that stuff. But sometimes you just have a bad day. You just need to talk to somebody. You don't want to talk to your wife because you don't want your wife to see you cry. You don't want to call Sam because you don't want Sam to hear you cry. So what you need
to do bro, are you crying? You need a hug? You'll be all right.
You've been saying crying a lot, dog. I want to recommend to you if you're looking for a counselor or a therapist to talk to, call Rest and Renew Counseling. Obviously, I am very biased upon this therapist because she is my wife. She started her own business called Rest and Renew Counseling. It is telehealth only, so you don't have to leave the house, Sam. If you're having a bad day, you send her a message saying, "I need to talk to you." She'll get it scheduled. You guys hop on your phone or your tablet or your computer, and you just sit there and you can just vent to her this whole time of whatever's going on with you. And she can help you. She has good advice. She helps me. That's why I'm saying sometimes I don't cry because she helps me not cry. So she's very good at it. Rest and Renew Counseling Ohio.com is the website. Rest and Renew Counseling Ohio.com. If you're interested, go to the website. Or if you want to schedule an appointment, you can call at 216-815-1728. That's 216-815-1728. Jen Ortiz, Rest and Renew Counseling Ohio.com is her email. So you have ways to get a hold of her. She is independent. She's on her own. She does take some insurances. You have to set that up with her. That's too complicated for me to understand any of that. That's what she went to school for. I'm just a podcaster with the mic. That's all I do. That's all I do. And other things.
And it's cool. It's cool, man, because it's your wife, and then your wife's, that's a big support. That's an awesome support on both ends, with you guys. So, that's awesome to hear for you, man. I'm excited about that. So hats off to you.
We need more. I want to retire early. So if she makes more money, she makes more and more money. I can just sit here and just do podcasting all day, which is something that I want. Yeah. James Frank says men's mental health is real. All jokes aside. It is. Listen, as I do therapy, I try to do therapy once a month. That's no joke. Sometimes, especially as you get older, your emotions and body starts to change. And you just need to talk to somebody. But yeah, give her a call. She's always open. She's always there. And sometimes if you just send her a text and she says, "I'm busy," she'll try to talk you off the ledge via text. But, it's cool, Sam, because it's her own thing, right? It's our own thing. Like it's her own business. She's starting it. She's a little nervous and she's like, "Why don't you sponsor I'm like, you know what? I don't really have a sponsor on my show. So, and I was like, how much you going to give me? She gave me that. Boy, look, like you're in the doghouse. I say, all right, you have to pay.
You might have some competition, man, because there might be somewhere she could do some type of podcast once a week, just talking about everybody being.
I've been telling her she is I'm not saying this because she's my wife.
Getting their minds clean, and their minds right.
I told her you need podcast format, dog, is where it's at. I'm trying to talk her into it. She's you can go Rest and Renew Counseling is on all socials. Rest and Renew Counseling Ohio is on all socials. Go to there. She's been posting stuff. It's helping people. Just try it out. Check it out. She's really cool, and she just commented the email address in the comment section. So on Facebook, so send her an email, set something up, get some help. Even if your wife or kids, I mean, she does it all. On to what you guys really want to talk about, and it's in the comments already. It's in the comments. People are saying
they didn't waste no time.
They didn't waste no time about. They went straight for it. They said, "Quick Clip said, hey,
going for that jugular right away."
Quick Clip said, "Hey, fellas, Jason Lloyd is a liar. Never believe anything that comes out of his mouth." And then a couple of buffaloes. Max Campbell says, "Jason Lloyd is hot as the." So yeah,
big piles of dog stuff.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Let's get into that first. Jason Lloyd's comments about Shedeur is this: I talked to enough people and heard so much about him that's not very good. He doesn't really watch a ton of film. Had to kind of be shown how to watch film. Doesn't know when he's hot. Does not know what he's looking at in coverages. To me, when I heard that, I said that's a typical rookie, right? I mean, was I not? I'm not overanalyzing it because I feel like people take that comment and it feels like maybe I didn't quite hear it. Maybe I should hear their tone. But when I read it, I said to myself, "Well, that's a rookie. Most rookies don't know how to watch tape properly. Most rookies don't know what the hot read is. Most of them still learning coverages. So maybe you can help me, Sam. What did he say that was wrong? Or maybe even the chat. Let me know. What did he say that was wrong about Shedeur Sanders?
Well, who's his source? Okay. I'm going to start this. All right. So he was talking about, and he ended up talking to Ken Carmen in 92.3. He was on there and he was still standing on that dirt that he already done talked about. And he was like, yeah, this is what this is that. And I'm like, all right, man, but like, who's like your source though? Like, it just can't be like, yeah, we kind of heard. Anybody can say, I could say, man, I kind of heard that Jerry Jeudy is going to be a 1,500-yard receptions this year. I already know they're going to throw the ball to more. Him and Monk had already been talking. Yeah. And he said something about like the public tripping on his narrative. But what if you're fabricating the narrative, bro? And if you're doing that, then you're throwing things left and right. And my big thing is, why is he the only guy talking about this? There's a lot of other reporters around. One comes to mind, Tony Grossi. He's never
that's a fan favorite, Tony Grossi.
He's never shied away from pointing out any flaws that Shedeur has had. Okay, and he's around the building a lot. That's a fact. Why wouldn't that guy come forward with that big news? Then it's only this guy. It's only one person, So I don't know. It's hard to. I just think it's off-season fabricating narrative talk. That's all. That's how I look at it. And if you got a second, come on, y'all. All right. Come on, y'all. Like Shedeur's been around NFL staffers growing up. He's been around Tom Brady. Okay. And his dad is Deion Sanders. So when you're around people like that, NFL staffers were helping him out when he was in Colorado. If you didn't know that, now you know. You're going to try to tell me between Tom Brady, the staffers, his dad being a football player and looking at coverages and telling him how defenses look, he's never watched any kind of tape. You got to be out of your mind. You just got to be out of your mind. I can't digest that. I find that very hard to believe. Now if he's not watching enough film to somebody's, what they want him to do, well, I don't know. I don't know that, but Angel, I have a hard time believing that this kid's never watched any film and knows how to break film down. I think he would, between his dad pushing them for success and, and the likes of Tom Brady and, some NFL staffers around the kid. So Shedeur ended up saying, he goes, about this. I'll quote him. Shedeur said, learn to value the opinions of those who care about you, not the noise from everyone else. Basically, he's saying, just listen to the people that are trying to help you out in life and don't worry about the rest of the garbage that's going to be out there, because it's always going to be that. These kids are in the limelight, and they're kids, dude, and they get, man, it's just hard. And you've seen in some pressers, they try to nitpick these kids and make them say something wrong. It's crazy, bro. So
they try to get a clip off of some questions.
I didn't want to ramble, but I had to.
No, you're good. This is why you're here with therapy, man. This is our therapy, dog.
What's your take on all this little bit here?
I don't think it's far-fetched. I really, when I heard those comments, I wasn't surprised. And I don't mean this as a dig to Shedeur, and I don't mean this to say Lloyd is right, because I don't know, like you say, who's his sources, right? But I see that's just evidence of proof, right? Evidence of proof is the New York Giants, right? Not people saying Giants are lying, blah blah blah. But if you take breadcrumbs, eventually it's going to make you a piece of bread. Giants said that he failed on the whiteboard. Why? Whiteboard tells us that your knowledge of the game. Rex Ryan said something about it, that he's got to get in front of the line of the watching tape and be in front of the class. Most importantly, a lot of people are forgetting that Kevin developed Hungry Dogs. Hungry Dogs was an opportunity to get the rookies to get ahead or to understand the knowledge of the game. And Shedeur was a part of that. If Shedeur was not struggling watching tape or learning defenses, I'm sure Dylan Gabriel was in there too, by the way. It wasn't just Shedeur. That wouldn't be needed. So for me, this doesn't seem far off, because he, as a viewer who just watches it normally and then has people who break down tape tell you there's certain things he needs to work on, it's believable. Now, Jason Lloyd probably came at it from a place of hatred, but if we are balanced fans, as much as I try to be, because I'm too logical sometimes, I say it's believable, but it shouldn't damn him to not be a future NFL starter. It doesn't mean, these comments doesn't mean to me, well, he can't improve. It just tells me, well, he did pretty good things not knowing coverages. He did pretty good things not knowing how to watch tape. Give him a whole offseason to learn all that, and let's see what he does and improves on with the tools that he's going to have this year. So if anything, I felt like it encouraged me more to sit there and be like, wow, if he struggled doing all that, and then he comes in the offseason with Todd Monken and his other peoples that he has, and he learns to watch tape, then he's just going to improve, right? I mean, that's what the way I view it. And the Hungry Dogs is a big thing for me, because I think a lot of people are forgetting that Kevin took time to develop him, and it was for a reason. There's a reason why he was sitting outside of practice during minicamp. And a lot of people hate the truth, and I understand that, but I try to be as fair as possible. Maybe he did struggle coming into it.
And the thing is too, like you always see, and even the players say, he's the first man there, last one to leave. So in his off season right now, he's still doing things. He's not just hanging out. You're not seeing him out in the Bahamas and he's sending pictures up. I mean, I'm sure he's going to take his little trips here and there, and it's okay. It's off season, but he's out there working right now with who? Jerry Jeudy, really hard. They're trying to get that chemistry going. I mean, and so that he's putting in work right now, and he's the first one there, last one to leave. I just think that I got to say, I just think it's because the kid's last name, he just gets a lot extra.
Definitely. He gets a lot of extra attention. Yeah.
Hatred thrown towards him, and and that's just crazy. I mean, let's let him develop. I mean, it was the same thing with Dylan. I mean, we fired away on Dylan because, man, this guy sucks. He can't throw a three. He can't throw a 5-yard pass.
Exactly.
It's like, man, it's like it's their first year. I don't want these rookies even coming out in their first year. I wanted to have them sit down, watch, and learn before you get thrown into that fire, because the big difference between, I know we talk about all the time, between college and the pros is speed and strength. And it's just 10 times more harder of a game to play when these guys are and they're growing into their bodies. You got to think about that too. These are men now. These are men. They're all young kids growing up. But now you're getting NFL, you got 28-year-old, 30-year-olds out there, and they're career guys, and they're out here killing it. So, yeah, and he had one more time, I'll say it again. He had he didn't get no first team reps last year. That's how much fire he got thrown into. No first team reps. And then they're like, okay, now you're in the game. Good luck. So
all I'm saying is that also to a reason why I think there's truth to it, because I think AB knows. That's why AB said, like, we're not going to commit to Shedeur because he does have a lot of development to do also. So I think a lot of people, my issue is this, like, I understand that there's haters of Shedeur, and then there's like absolutely obsessed fans of Shedeur. There's very rarely people who come in the middle and have understanding that both can be right. Shedeur can be a good quarterback, but Shedeur also can need some development. And I think it's okay to say that. And I think it's okay if you go by the tape last year and say there's some things that he needs to work on. And I don't think if you say that, I don't think it's you hating. I think if anything, if it comes from a good place, obviously, if you're crying about it and hating on him all the time, then there's a deeper rooted issue which she should go to counseling for. But
there you go.
I think that, ding, ding, I think there's a balance in which fans need to view this as. Shedeur was not a finished product coming out of, no quarterback is, but coming out of college. Yes, he was in the Big 12, which they don't play defense. That's why he threw for 4,000 yards. All that is good. He has tools that can make him great. He's accurate as heck. But there's reasons why there are breadcrumbs dropping, and a lot of people, we're ignoring it. And my fear is that we are blaming everything on the organization when they purposely took their time bringing this kid onto the field. They put Dillon in front of him. They put Flacco in front of him. I think if the team really wanted him to play right away, they would have, if they thought he was ready, they would have played him right away. I think that a lot of fans think there's some big old conspiracy about it because Kevin didn't like him. I think Kevin comes from a good place. Now, could Kevin probably wanted Dillon more? Sure. Kevin's human. He probably wanted Dillon. He felt Dillon probably fit his system more. There's a lot of probably politics behind the scenes at that. But I think it's unfair to here we go. So Leah says media wants credit Stefanski with that, but it's Sanders' own desire to be great. No one is saying Kevin. See, this is what I mean. You see how they twist your words. I'm not saying it's Kevin's will. It's Shedeur's greatness is based upon is just because of Kevin. I'm saying that he was in a room in which he had to learn because he had some issues on the quarterback end of development. And a lot of people don't want to admit that. Now, we'll get to see this year. The encouraging thing about this, hopefully, is that we'll see it this year. Hopefully he comes out. This is what we want to see. We said it last week. We want to see the quarterback, Shedeur Sanders, come out. That's our QB1. We want to see him take the reins, and we want to see him improve. We want to see offensive line, which they did, improve a little bit, and we want to see him with weapons. And we'll see if Jason Lloyd's talking crap for no reason or he's right. And that's the beauty part of it. It's going to play out in real time. We're going to come back here months later, Sam, a couple months into the season. If Shedeur's winning 3 or 4 games in a row or even 500, we're going to say, dude's improved. He's no longer last in the QBR. He's got more touchdowns and interceptions. He's seeing the field better. Or we're going to say, man, that Jason Lloyd guy was right because clearly he's not watching tape properly.
Like I said, I just have a hard time believing that he doesn't know how to look at film with just who's around him. His dad is Deion Sanders,
Mm-hmm.
a great defensive player. Who to teach you how to look at a defense than that guy? Okay, that's his dad for one. And like I said, I'll reiterate one more time. He's been around Tom Brady. He's been around NFL staffers that helped him when he was at Colorado. So don't tell me that there's no tape being watched at all. Just give him a chance. He's young, and he is, like any other young guy, is developing. So stop it. Give it a chance. Let's be Browns fans, and let's get somebody ready to go. I mean, it's, we got to get going here. So,
and maybe I'm going to be careful how I word this because I don't want to come off offensive. Maybe it is slower for him to develop in how to watch tape. A lot of people develop, a lot of people learn differently. So maybe Shedeur's issue is he needs to learn differently than other quarterbacks. And then maybe Jason Lloyd caught wind of how he's learning and doesn't like it, and he had a difference of opinion about it. But again, we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be played out in real time. Now, there's a lot of talk today. I read some stuff today that everything that the Browns have done up to this point kind of shows that they might get a different quarterback in here. We'll talk a little bit about that later when we talk about the free agent signings, but that's something to keep your mind on, that if they do bring another quarterback in here, it kind of tells you how they really feel about Shedeur. That either he's not ready or he's not the answer.
Let me ask you this. Another quarterback in the draft, or are you thinking that there's also a possibility? Because I think there's also a possibility we might bring in another veteran quarterback.
I think
Kirk Cousins is out there somewhere. So
I think if they wanted a veteran quarterback, they would have had one already. What was the first thing they did last year? They got Kenny Pickett.
Right.
So I think if they wanted that as a priority, they would have made that a priority. Now, AB's on record saying, and a lot of people, we have amnesia when it comes to this. AB's on record saying Todd Monken's going to have a lot of say on who that quarterback is. And I don't mean to bring this up because I don't want to give you a heart attack, Sam. There's a lot of smoke with Ty Simpson. Now it's just smoke right now. It is just smoke. Ty Simpson was on ESPN talking about his relationship with Monken and how it means a lot to him. And it's just a little bit of smoke, but a coach is going to want to have a relationship with somebody in which they're going to put their job on the line for. And if Monken tells AB, Ty Simpson is the man, even with 15 starts, I think AB is going to draft him. I'm not saying AB will. I'm not saying I want it to happen because me and you are on record. We want Shedeur 100%. I'm a Shedeur fan. I want Shedeur to play. But I think if we're going to come in here thinking the competition is going to be against Deshaun Watson and Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders only, I think we're going to kind of fool ourselves a little bit.
Right. And we talked about it, though, too, because this is just the roller coaster all the time here in Cleveland. But we also do. I mean, I want to see Shedeur succeed. Yes. But I really think Monken is going to we talked about it. They're going to put the best man forward, so I hate to say it because I'm not a big fan because he ain't done nothing for us for $230 million dang dollars. But if there's training camps coming up and Watson's looking like the veteran, you might have to put him out there and Shedeur might have to wait again.
Yeah, that would be a hard sell to the fans, man.
Oh, well, yeah,
that would be a hard one.
I tell you what,
I get it, though.
And I'm not a big fan of this. It's just something that could happen. This is just something that could happen. They might want to see what they got left in the tank. Now, he's on his last year. No more re-signing. But if Watson goes out there and wins like 5-6 games in a row, 7 games or something crazy like that in a row or something, a lot of you people are going to forget about it because you're just winning games. So yeah, I don't know. It's just a possibility. You got to throw that out there too, because he is on the team. Dylan's on the team.
Yeah, you always got and it's the Browns, man. They always do stuff that.
Well, here's the thing about Ty. I want to talk real quick about Ty, man. Ty has played 15 games.
Yeah.
There's 12 games in a college season, right?
Yep.
So he hasn't had that much. I mean, we're going to go ahead and spend the farm on a dude that played like a season and a few games. That's kind of crazy to think about.
It is. That's the part that scares me the most. But there's a lot of smoke with that relationship between the two. I thought it was just hearsay, but there's a lot of smoke, man. And it's to the point where once I start to see a fire, I'm going to panic even more because I'm with you. I don't now. There's a lot of good about Ty Simpson that maybe we can talk about later, but the 15 game sample size is scary to me.
Yeah, I mean, it really is if you think about it. I mean, that's not, to me, that's just not enough gameage. This is not enough. You need, I want a guy that's, played a couple years in college, maybe even 3 years of college. We're talking more games than that. We're talking, 24, 30 games. This dude's got 15. 15 games, man.
Yeah. Ralph Poole says he meaning Sanders always said he learns by playing. And that's part of the reason why I remember him saying that. That's part of the reason why I want him to play. I think it will benefit the organization, even if they draft somebody, to sit there and say, we're going to play Shedeur first because we need to see what he has. If you know that he's not going to play well, you need to prove to the fans he's not going to play well. And this is the problem when you draft a quarterback who has a name like his. You have to be ready for the criticism and the fandom which comes with Shedeur Sanders. And that's you sometimes you just got to play to the fandom of the fan base, and that's what I suggest totally. Quick Clip says Barry will make the final decision on the quarterback. Always remember that. Yes, but his decision will be highly influenced by the coach in which he picked.
You know what I do like? I like the fact that we're not going to have a deep Podesta in his ear. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing that's subtracted out of it, because I think that he had a lot to say in moving forward with positioning and players and stuff. So, this is going to be more Barry. I mean, because now, like I just said, deep Podesta's not in his air with it. Like, let Barry do his thing. So.
Yeah, Poole said, as a Sanders fan, I'm ready for any competition because 12 will rise to the top. And that's what you want to see. You want to see him beat out. I think he'll beat out Watson, but you want to see him beat out the best, Mm-hmm. We just need.
Yeah, it's an old saying, man. You want to be the best, you got to beat the best. That's just how it goes. So,
KP says Jason Lloyd seems like he's getting his information from Dylan Gabriel's wife.
It could be. Who knows?
He could be. I mean, he's
haters gonna hate, right?
Yeah,
haters are gonna hate.
Yeah, I don't. I understand.
You remember there was a little riff, going Gabriel said something, a little rift about, I'm here for football. I'm not here for like glam, basically. Yeah. And I thought that was kind of a jab towards Shedeur. So who knows? You might have hit the nail on the head. Yeah. That's funny.
Leon says Sanders is doing all he can do to prepare. That's all you can ask. That's what he's doing right now. Now, as an old man, now it's unfair because I am a content creator. I am a podcaster. I do a lot of content. I would like to see him less on content on my Instagram reels, because I feel fans would use that as ammunition to prove that he's not ready. He's always on Instagram. He's always being recorded by his brother. He's always da. Either way, I think he'll be ready. On to the next topic. Mason Crosby trade is canceled due to a poor physical.
Yeah, that's correct. Max Crosby, man. That we because we were doing the Saturday show. No, we were doing a Tuesday. You were out. I was subbing in, and that news came across then, and everybody was in the comments was saying, "Oh man, Max Crosby, man, he's gonna go to Baltimore." And I'm like, "Oh," I said, "Well, hang on. You know how things run. Could be fake news. I mean, it could be." But, and then they're like, "No, it looks like this is good. This is a go." And then if you want to go ahead and go with it, how it went down, and then I'll give mine. So you go ahead and
so I woke up, was it Wednesday morning, and I saw it on X, and I thought it was fake. I'm like, this is unheard of. Like, this rarely happens. Like, Baltimore turns down the trade of Max Crosby. And then right away, I thought to myself, they kind of have buyer's remorse. And then I realized, holy crap, Trey Hendrickson is still out there. And I thought it was weird that he was still out there. I'm like, I'm a realistic Browns fan. I knew the Browns wouldn't go out there guy because I mean he's going to require a lot of money. But I'm like, man, it'll be good if you have him and Miles on the other side of each other. But I'm like, they're going to go after Trey. They're going to go after Trey. And then like an hour later, Adam Scheffler posted Hendrickson's going to Baltimore. So then you have the total conspiracy theory people out there like, they canceled this trade because they got buyer's remorse. They didn't want to trade 2 number ones, which is pretty high for Crosby. They would have gave up the 14th pick this year and their first round pick next year.
2027.
And then they would have to pay. They would have to extend Max Crosby's contract. And money was tight like it is because of, I mean, Lamar got the big payday too. They're kind of in the same type of boat. The only difference is their quarterback is playing. So a lot of people, and I come to the conclusion that the Ravens got buyer's remorse. They realized they could get Trey Hendrickson for money, and they can still keep their first 2-round picks because they have a lot of holes they still need to fill. And that's why a lot of people are like, wow, they gave up 2 first-round picks for Matt Crosby, not because it's a disrespect to Crosby. It's the fact that they had so many holes, especially with Tyler Linderbaum and another another offensive guy left. Like, how are they going to fill these holes? Like, now they're going to have a good defense, but their offense is going to suck because Lamar is going to get hurt. But that's me, how I felt about it. What do you thought about it?
I think the Ravens just went and did a gangster move. They did a boss move. They were like, well, we got this guy in, and I heard, okay, I was reading on some stuff. I heard that Max Crosby was actually at their facility with his family. Wow, they were already talking to Trey about coming over. So his family was in the building. As far as I know, that's something that's true. And he was already a dead man walking at that point, and they did the physical and then they turned around. They didn't want it. They were already working on Henderson, which I think is just cold blooded, man. That's cold blooded. But, like you said, though, but you got Trey out there and you can get him cheaper and save your picks. And I think that's exactly what they did. They just went ahead and went gangster. They're like, you know what? This was going to be it. This ain't it. We're cutting that out the show. We're bringing this in. You want to know why? Because we can.
Yeah, because it's a legal tampering. It doesn't mean it's legal signing contract.
You're allowed to talk.
You're allowed to talk.
Nothing settled until the actual
contract is signed.
Contracts are going. Yes. So I just think that call it a gangster move, man. That's what they did.
Did you see now the reports today saying that there's someone from the Ravens organization said, "Oh, we wanted both. We were going to target both."
No, come on, get out of here.
You did exactly what I was driving to my work, man. I was just like, you guys are covering up. Stop.
Yeah, you'd be better off not to say anything at that point.
Just saying
then you make yourself look really dumb.
There's no way you can afford 114 mil, and then on top you probably have to pay 100-something mil for Crosby. And have a quarterback contract that you ever have for Lamar. There's no way you can do that.
Somebody just trying to save face
over
it. You all went and said, you know what? Trey's out there. We'll take him.
Exactly.
And we're going to save our picks for 2026, first round pick 2027. I mean, if that came my way, guess what I'm probably doing? Probably going to do the same gangster move, man.
Yeah, Beck on YouTube said once they lost out on Linderbaum and Isaiah Likely, which I forgot, they actually lost out on Isaiah Likely too, went to New York. They were definitely pulling out because they thought to themselves, well, we're not going to have any offense. Like if we give him this money and have no picks, like we're not going to have a center, we're not going to have a left guard, and we're not going to have a tight end that we can throw to because we just lost 2 major pieces on offense. Hey, wait a second. Trey Henderson's still out there. We can get a pass rusher and still keep our picks.
Yeah.
Realization, man.
Yeah. That's the way that goes. It's a business, man. And am I thinking shady? I mean, for Max, but Max is like, all right, well, I'm still silver and black. Let's go. I guess I'm going back, or something else might pop off for him. But as far as I know, he's still a Raider right now.
Yeah,
So
I think they're gonna. I read that the Raiders are looking to keep him. Which, let's talk about that. How lucky did Crosby get? He went from one of the worst situations in Oakland, in Las Vegas, where the team was horrible, to a team that totally rebuilt itself. Now they probably won't be playoff contenders this year because they have a rookie quarterback, but they got the center, they got their quarterback. They're getting pieces in this draft that they can get to help on their offensive side, and they keep probably one of the good. I don't. I'm not high on Max Crosby as most people are. I thought that's why I was like, man, they're giving up 2 picks for Crosby. He's only averaging like 9 sacks a year. Like what what is up with that? I actually think Trey Henderson is a better pass rusher than Max Crosby.
I was going to go there because if I was to choose, it depends what you want in a player. So, who would you want? Max Crosby or Trey Hendrickson? Well, you got to ask yourself, do you want a guy that's a pass rusher going to get you sacks? That'd be Trey. You want an more all around versatile player that's good on passing downs as well as rush defense and stopping the run? Then you're looking more at Max. Trey's got more sacks, so he's more getting in there after the quarterback. So if that's the guy you want, that's the guy you go for. If you need a guy that's going to put more pressure on the quarterback, and not saying that Max can't get there, he can. He just doesn't have as many as Trey does. Okay, but his run defense is great. His tackles for losses are great. And he's good on passing downs. He can go out and he can. Sometimes he's got to go out in coverage, just like T.J. Watt's got to do sometimes. But I think he's a more all-around player. So, do you want a pass rusher, or do you want an all-around guy that can do a little bit of everything on that position? So
yeah, and Trey, I forgot Trey is a little older, so that makes more sense. KP said the problem now is his health and age. You're right. On Trey. Crosby gets hurt too, though. Crosby seems to get hurt randomly. Like he got hurt this past year. Now maybe he could have played through it, but because they suck so bad, he's like, I'm done with this organization.
Well, and I don't think it required a surgery. I could be wrong. He did get carted off, but it wasn't. From what I read, and I think it was the last game of the season when it happens. I think they said it wasn't as serious as they thought. So I don't think that had anything to do with them backing out on the deal. I don't think so. They made the gangster move. I'll say it again. They saved themselves picks, and they got another guy that's going to get after the quarterback cheaper.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's that simple, not taking nothing away from either one of these guys are hella athletes, man. So it just depends what you want. You want a guy that's going after their quarterback. You want a guy that's like on no, I'm going to say it now. Ain't nobody up to Miles caliber.
Nobody.
But if you want a guy that's going to get after the quarterback, you go Trey. You want a guy that's an all-around player that can drop back in some coverage, that can stop the run. You're looking at Max. That's just that simple. What do you need out of that edge rusher?
That's a good point. Baltimore has done that. Yeah. And that's why I was going to bring this up next. The Boys 1987 says the Baltimore has done this 3 times in the past already. One is that the last one I was in 2005, Michael Crabtree. They ended up getting Michael Crabtree, but they agreed to a contract with another receiver. Name escapes me. And then when Michael Crabtree got cut by Oakland, they brought this guy in and failed his physical, so they don't have to pay him the high money as for receiving money. And they decided to go after Michael Crabtree for cheaper. But Michael Crabtree ended up sucking after 1 year and ended up cutting him year 2 anyways. But yeah, they've done this before. The other 2 times I forgot, but I didn't look those up. But they're known from doing this. And it's weird because now players are going to be like, the whole legal tampering is going to be weird next year. Because as a fan, you're going to be like, well, is anybody else coming through that door? Because somebody's going to cancel. Yeah. So I wonder if they're going to kind of change some verbiage around next year so this doesn't happen again. Because a team, if you think about it, a team could take advantage of that because let's say Crosby, they heard Crosby's going to Baltimore for X millions a year. They can go and be like, oh, now we know what Crosby wants. Let's go up a little higher, right? So Crosby can go in and be like, yeah, Baltimore, I'm with you. And then like Kansas City can come up and overbid him. And then all of a sudden he's switching switching to Kansas City. So that legal tampering is very interesting. Let's see if they kind of adjust on that. Other Browns news today that Browns receive an annual adjustment of $17.6 million for insurance on JOK and Watson's injury. That is a lot higher than a lot of people pegged him to go. I think who I like a lot, Jack Duffin on X, he's a good capologist. He had them at 5 to 6 million. That was his guess, but it's 17.6 million. It goes onto the cap, meaning that's money they can use to get players, or we'll talk about it later, draft picks. A lot of people forget about that. Boy says that the Browns have 27 mil in cap space now, which is interesting to say what they can do with that cap space, which we're going to talk about a little later. But when I sent you that text message, were you pretty shocked at that amounts they got back for insurance?
No, I wasn't. I mean,
I thought it was going to be lower. So I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah, no, I thought that's about right where that should have been at. I'll talk about it again. We did a soft restructure with, there's one thing that bugs me. I think we did a soft restructure with Denzel Ward. I thought we could have did a more of a full restructure, and we could have got some more money in cap space that way, but they didn't do that. So I was projecting we would already have a little bit more of what we're already looking at right now, actually, between Deshaun, Denzel, because there was I think it was between 13 to 15 million if they restructured full on Denzel. They could have added to, it was like 13.5 to 15. I just went and said, all right, well, let's just pick 14. We'll just go right in the middle of those numbers. And I think they ended up, it was low. What was it? It was low for Denzel.
It was a signing bonus, wasn't it? It was like a mil and a half that they restructured.
Yeah, it was
something like that.
Wasn't what I was expecting. And then as far as the insurance monies go, I mean, that's about where I figured it at too, man. So
yeah, 27 mils of cap space now. If they restructure Ward, it'll be 12.48 million added on to that 27. So that brings them up to 39. 39, sorry, if they do restructure him. Now they do need picks, money picks for your picks, which is about 12 million of that needs to be, maybe they can restructure Ward's money for that, because that 12 million could go right to cap. Now Jack Duffin does suggest that the Browns can trade down from 6 to 12, and that would save them $3 more million in cap space. So when you see the Browns draft down, it's probably to get the player that they want, but it's also in the mindset of we need to save money, because $3 million more is a lot of money for somebody that doesn't have a lot of money.
Here's the thing too. I mean, Joe Bitonio is in a question mark stage still, and we talked about it. Chad had thought on Tuesday, we thought that we would hear something by, Tuesday, Wednesday at the latest. Nothing came up. I've seen that the Browns aren't rushing that. From what I've seen, from what I read, the Browns are giving him a little bit more time to decide what he wants to do. So I don't see why, if Bitonio decides he wants to stay here and do one more season, they could do some type of restructure with him. So there could be some kind of monies there too, I believe.
They would probably sign him to a league minimum, because what the Browns do with their cap, I learned this the last couple of weeks, is when they sign a player, they sign them to a league minimum and then push most of the money out to the next year. And then they restructure that, give them the money as a bonus, and then push the money back for the next year after.
They take their base salary and they push it into a bonus is what they do. So it's something that they could do with Joel if Joe decides to come back, because I can't think of any other guys that could really restructure to get any type of cap money out of them but Joel. So yeah, if Joel comes back, we might see something like that go down.
Yeah. What's this on this thread here? Someone said Ward's getting traded, because someone said Ward's not getting traded. It seems like Ward will be on the trading block, especially with the way they restructure that contract. No, he's not going to get traded. I agree with Boys. He said, there's no way he's going to get traded. Stop it. Boys said, Antonio's wash. I think having him here will benefit the line because you have a veteran leader. You have someone who's familiar, and you have just another body. You have another body, and we're going to talk about it now of the picks in which they drafted. I mean, not drafted, but they picked up here in free agency. One thing I've noticed specifically with the even with the tight end that they got, very well, not the tight end. The tight end is more of a blocking tight end. Jake Stoll, tight end, signed a 1-year deal. Known primarily for blocking after he played with New Orleans and the Philadelphia Eagles. He's on just a block. Blocking tight end is what we talked about many times, that Harold Fanning should not be focused on blocking. That dude's got hands. Let him catch the ball. So yeah, they signed him to a 1-year deal, but then they got off. First, they start off with Titus Howard, signed a deal, and they Texans gave Texans a 5th-round pick for him and a 3-year, $63 million contract extension. Total offensive snaps, and you're going to see a trend here, Sam. Pass block 655, run block 361, 0 sacks allowed, which is good. 2 penalties. Now, snaps on the right guard, he had 132, right tackle 55 snaps, left guard 344. Titus Howard. And that's why he got $20 million a year. Versatility. Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Next one, Zion Johnson, guard. 6'3", 316 pounds, signed a 3-year deal, $49.5 million. 32 mil guaranteed. Total offensive snaps 1,071. Pass block snaps 663. Run block snaps 408. Primary position is left guard. Is mainly of his position came from there. That's why a lot of people think Joe Bitonio will not come back, because Zion Johnson was signed to be a left guard because he had 1,070 snaps there. He's allowed 3 sacks, 4 penalties. And yes, Howard is Warhop's guy. Boys, thanks for reminding me of that. So Howard is Warhop. And I didn't put it in notes, but I want to talk about Warhop after all this. Elgin Jenkins, guard / center. Yeah, he's probably will play center for us from what I've been reading. $24 million deal, 20 mil is guaranteed. Can you imagine just signing a contract and right away just say, here's a check for 20 mil?
Yep. Just hand it over.
Just give it to me. You imagine that, dude. It's a 1-year deal and you're just getting 20 mil just to hike up. No, it's tougher just to hike a ball. You got to read snaps and stuff. So there's a lot more into it.
They say money's the root of all evil. Give me $20 million and I could do a lot of good with that.
True to that. True to that.
I can help a lot of people. I can help a lot of people out.
I'm glad Wrights is on the same page here with me. She says, I'm excited about our new O-line. I'm kind of agree with that. Jenkins here has over 1,000 snaps at left guard and moved to center last year. So he has 537 snaps and got hurt. Versatile. So you got a guy that can move across the line, and Howard and Jenkins that can play center or guard. And we know Tevin Jenkins, he was here. Money, I think it was like $1 million. He got very little of it. He only had 324 snaps last year, mainly at guard, 276, 8 at right tackle, 4 at left guard, 5 at left tackle, and he had 30 at tight end. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
Jenkins, they brought it in for the.
You can check in.
Yeah.
Sometimes them big guys got some hands though, man. You got to watch out. Them guys sneak out out there, and they can pull them in. What I like Tevin coming back too is he played all 17 games last season. And
that's another point of emphasis.
Yeah, and
talk about.
He's more of well balanced. I mean, overall good passing and run. I think he's got a good mix in there. But what I seen with the snaps counts that he had no penalties and no sacks allowed. That's what you want, right? That's what I want. So, I mean, I was
His
glad
issue
that,
is health too. His issue,
yeah,
he needs to stay healthy.
yeah. So, I mean, like, and a lot of guys, like you said, Aiton Jenkins, I like him because, he's played left tackle, left guard, center, right tackle. We're getting guys in here that can move around. And we know how our guy, and I love our guy DeJuan Jones, man. Well, we can't get one whole season out of him. So we're gonna have, it's all, I say that it's safe to say, but you're going to have injuries. I don't wish these upon nobody. It's just part of the nature of the beast. These guys are out there balling, man, and you're gonna have guys get hurt. You're gonna need guys that can fill in. And instead of a guy going, well, boss, I'm right tackle, but you think you could try left? I guess I'll give it a shot. But now you're going to have guys that go,
They can actually do it.
What you need, right tackle? You sure? You want me? I could switch up to guard real quick, or I can go ahead and hit that left tackle if you want. What do you want me to do? That's what I like. So you're getting some depth help at that
And
line.
you hit it right on the head, dude. Like, this is exactly what I was going to bring up. I think their mission and their plan was to get guards that that are versatile. They didn't want a guard that was just limited to right tackle only, because the last 2 years, what has been the main issue with the line? Injuries. And when you get a guy that's injured, you have to then find a guy who can play right tackle, mainly some guy off the street or on the practice squad who is not as good anyways. Now, what can happen here, what's the beauty of this is you have interchangeable pieces right away. So if Zion Johnson can't make it because he has diarrhea one day, hey, Jenkins can come in and fill for him until he gets that stomach bug out of there, right?
Yeah.
So they're all interchangeable. You still got Whippler, so he can still be your center, but Jenkins can move over to guard. You have Zinter. Zinter could be a backup, or if he's playing. Obviously, they're playing these people to start. Zinter can come in and sub in here and there. So they have depth and they have moving pieces. Not to also remind you, we're going to do our first 3-round mock draft, me and Sam. They can still draft some in the draft. And then you create not only a place of depth, but you got these older men who can sit there and play while the younger people develop correctly.
Yeah, like I was going to say too, because I can't. All right. So in my eyes, they did everything they needed to start doing to fix problems.
Yeah.
Because we all been harping. We have line problems. We have line problems. We have line problems. Nobody's got time to throw the ball. The run game struggling. So the thing about what they're doing now is they're getting the pieces, some veteran help in here, and interchangeable guys that can switch different right tackle to left tackle, fill in on a guard. You can get all that. But what I'm looking forward to is the young talent they're going to hear, because eventually you need the young blood.
Yep.
And if they go ahead at 6 and they stay straight up and they go out and get, a Fano or, Mayoga, they got options there to do. And then they can, those guys, if they pick a guy at 6, those guys are plug and play too. So they're going to be able to go ahead and just start at that position, and then they got the veteran help back there to help guide and help them out. Like you said, Warhop too. He's ready to sink his teeth into these guys.
Well, I'm glad you reminded me of that. Warhop, right? Who was the first coach Todd Monken hired?
Warhop. Was it Warhop?
Warhop, offensive line coach. They are. You want to talk about pressure? As far as a coach, it's not just Todd Monken, because he's got to come in here and fix the offense. But Warhop, there's a lot of pressure. You're going to get 5 brand new men on a offensive line, and you're going to have to tell them, learn to play together. Do you know how hard that is? Chemistry right off the bat. So you best believe, folks, this is not going to be a patty cake type of OTAs or mini camp. Monk is going to come in and get these guys ready because they have to. They have to. They can't have these guys resting, some guy on the bike or some guy drinking a mate on the sidelines like they used to. Monken's going to come in here and have these guys on the line, lined up, pads and all, hopefully, old school type of coaching and hitting pads, tackling, hopefully getting them ready for the season, because that's the only way you know how. And Warhop has a lot of pressure on him because he's got to take his 20 plus years of experience and not only develop some of these guys to be run blockers, because a lot of these guys, someone brought it up, PFF is just a tool, guys. It's not the truth. I love PFF. I use PFF, but PFF is a tool, not the truth. You have to understand that these people are also pass blocking with other people. They have weaknesses. So just because they have a poor run blocking score doesn't necessarily mean they're poor run blockers. Also, you have Warhop, who has 20 plus years of experience. Maybe he has a little nick, something that he can teach these guys for them to catch on as far as run blocking is concerned. Because that's all of them have bad PFF run blocking grades for some reason.
Yeah, well, that's something that we're going to keep an eye on. Like I said, too, we're going in this draft. We go ahead and still go after a line guy, even if, all right, well, at 6, they went with a wide receiver. We needed young O-line help. I'm not going to be mad if Tate's there and they go at 6, but you could still get a good lineman at 24. You can get a good lineman in the second round still, too. There's still good guys out there. But we need young guys coming up. We need the new guys coming up now. We're in that phase of this rebuild. We need young blood.
Yeah, Boy said Cleveland's number one coaching has been bad. Cleveland's number one problem has been bad coaching. Yeah, we'll see if Todd and his 80 coaching staff that he hired on.
What did he bring in? He brought in 29 team people.
Yeah.
Monking.
Hey, Boy, keep that list close to you. We're going to read that again. We're going to go over our first three round mock draft here in a second. Next person they signed, I'm pretty excited about, is Quincy Williams, 5'11", 230 pounds, 2 years, $13 million, expected to replace Devin Bush, add speed to the defense. Sam, you on the show last, you were very vocal about keeping Devin Bush. So how does this feel for you?
Well, like I said, I had to. All right, I wanted Devin back. I thought with some of the cap space, that would be something that they were going to do right away. It didn't go that way, so I got to pick yourself up and just go. Well, I can't sit here and keep crying in an empty bowl. He's gone. So all right. It's just like, hey, man, he's gone. It sucks, but it is what it is. And so they announced they get Quincy Williams. I will say I don't think Quincy Williams is a Devin Bush, okay, but he's not a bad player. I mean, he's still got wheels. He's still very fast. I want to see what he's got because he's ready to play, and I seen him in his presser, and he said he's just ready to get after it. It's mostly what they always say, ready to get to work, ready to get after it. But on a funny note, he still had his the Jets green in his dreads. I'm like, all right, I can't wait. Let me start seeing the orange. We start seeing the orange. All right, man. All right. But, he's been in the league quite a while, since 2019. But we talked about it last week. He hit 2025 season. He took a big dip in his tackling. All right. That's one concern that I did have.
Who did?
Quincy.
Oh, he was injured for 4 games.
Yeah, well, that played a part too.
Yeah,
but he stays like a combined tackling. He's in the 70s. 2023 he had 95. 2024 he had 74. So yeah, you subtract those 4 games. And injuries always bother me too. But hopefully he can bounce back from what he was going through last year, which is a big question mark. We don't know yet. So, but I think sideline to sideline, he's got the speed.
He's got speed.
He
got
speed
too.
Yeah, and he can hit. I seen what he did to Kyler Murray.
He can knock off helmets.
It looked like Kyler Murray, man, looked like he should have called the police, man, for assault charges on that. He took. He got hit. He blasted him, man. And I never really pay attention, man. Like I was showing Jen, I'm like, look how little Kyler is. Watch this hit, but look how small this dude is. She's like, wow, he has helmet.
He went low for that hit. He had to go super low for that hit.
Yeah, super low. I made a joke yesterday. Anyway, hang on. I don't want to get off track with Quincy, but I got a joke, Kyler Murray joke. Anyway, so Quincy Williams is going to be good help here. I think him and Schlesinger will look nice together. I see that coming. Like I said, he just I just hope his consistency is still there because of last season. But Kyler Murray, I'm gonna say it real quick. Kyler Murray went to Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
and I text the dudes in the morning, bro. I said, Kyler Murray went to Minnesota. I put in there. Kyler Murray's in Minnesota now.
Minnesota.
He'll fit right in.
Mini quarterback in Minnesota.
He's in Minnesota.
Yeah. He actually might work. I mean, their coach there was pretty good, so they might work out for him. But the only difference is they're going to have to adjust their offense because he's more of a runner, out of pocket passer. Let's see how that coach adjusts as well. But Quincy Williams, I think, is a really good pickup. They're different linebackers as a whole. Quincy Williams is a rush linebacker. He's going to rush the quarterback as opposed to Devin Bush. He's more cover linebacker. That's why he led the team in touchdowns. Him and Jerry Jeudy with 2 because he was able to pick 6 a couple of them. So Quincy Williams is a different type. And what gives me confidence about Quincy Williams improving is because the defensive coach, Coach Rudy, coached him. The best years in Quincy Williams' career, Coach Rudy was there coaching him up. And Coach Rudy even mentioned him in his press conference, saying it was about relationship, and then it was football. So there's a trust factor there.
Yeah, he said something about it started with the heart with us. We're more at the heart.
Yes. So I think Quincy Williams, though he's older, is going to be an upgrade with the pass rush. And I think that kind of tells you how this defense is going to go. They're going to be rushing the passer. So this is going to go into draft talk here soon. When you think about drafting, because they haven't picked up a nickel guy yet, you're going to have to get somebody in the nickel too. So don't be surprised if you see the Browns get somebody in the 2nd, 3rd round. I would say even 2nd. I wouldn't be surprised if they draft the best corner because you have to also remember Ward is on his basically last year of his contract. So they might have to replace him. But we'll see how that turns out. But Quincy Williams, good pickup. We'll see. That's the draft. You want to see something interesting? Now, I'm going to stop it there because there's a couple more extra signs you did. But there was something posted on X. After the Quincy Williams pickup, actually the Jake Stoll pickup, I don't think the data has anything to do with him. There's an account on X that showed now this is nerd stuff, guys. This is going to be nerds. This is going to be statistics. So pause it. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. But I want to show you how well these moves improved your offense at your Browns. Okay. Mind you, all they did was pick up 1 linebacker and the rest were just middle of the road offensive linemen. Okay. Right there. Cleveland Browns are number 1 in 2026 improvement index. The Cleveland Browns. And all they did, Sam, was just pick up some offensive linemen. Now, I'm telling you this to show you how bad your offensive line was. That if you improved your team that much by picking some what people would classify as backup offensive linemen, that's encouraging to see. And look, Tennessee's up there. Tennessee spent way more money than you. Yet your improvement index is up there. Oakland, the Vegas Raiders, they spent a lot more money than you, but they didn't improve much. They did not improve. You did. So all the haters and all those that say that the Browns, Andrew Berry didn't do much, he did a lot more than people think. In my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we were talking about it a little earlier. I said I'm liking everything I'm seeing that's going on right now because we said we need to fix this offensive line, and we're already starting it with the free agency. Okay, and we need Devin Bush is gone. Need a linebacker. Went and got one. Okay, they might draft another linebacker down the road. They're probably going to need to do that anyway, and they're going to draft offensive linemen. It just depends who they're going to do at 6 if they stay there, unless they do a trade down and they get more pieces. But I like everything they've done in the free agency so far. Even if some of these guys are they're all professional athletes. I'm not taking nothing away from them, but they're like a middle of the road offensive line guy.
It's a lot better than what you had last year.
Yes, and the being versatile
Yep.
Being able to switch from right to left, right to guard. I like that. We need that. So I think a lot that absolutely this free agency has been where what our need was. We're helping it. We're helping it now, and we'll see what the rest of the draft brings.
Yeah, we'll see how that works out. Speaking of draft, actually go into the rest of the Browns signings that they did that I missed. Yeah, that because I know they signed.
Yeah. I'm sorry. We got 3 guys on there. We touched on them earlier. Tight end Jake Stoll, free agent, 1 year, 1.3 million. More of a blocking tight end, but we need that. Okay, I went and watched some of his film because he played for Saints and he also played for the Eagles. And he can get out. He can get out there and he can get that running back that crease when they're running on the outside. He can get out there and he can move people around. He can catch. He's not typically your catcher, but I've seen some catches in the end zone. He's got the paws. He can bring the ball in. But we needed that help because Harold Fanning last year being our top wide receiver. I mean, that's great and all. We're going to need some help with that, but we're also going to need help getting this running game going, and that's kind of where some of this line comes into. We're going to need help creating these holes. So blocking tight end, definitely somebody we needed. That's why I've liked everything we've had so much. Cornerback, D'Angelo Ross, already here, already got him back, free agent. His terms are yet to be announced, but they are bringing him
probably
in.
league minimum, probably like 3, 4, 5 mil.
Yeah,
it's 1 year, right?
Yeah. They're bringing them back, I should say, corner and also on special teams. So let's not forget, we always think, offensive side of the ball, defensive side of the ball. You need special teams, guys.
Yeah, you do.
Okay,
you trust me, you do. We know that.
Last year was rough for the special teams last year, but we got a guy. And I believe Jack Stoll, too, also can be on special teams, too. Yes, he does play special teams. So D'Angelo Ross coming in, we kind of talked about cornerbacks and maybe big thing is the nickel corner. So we'll see where that goes with that. One more other guy, I'm going to touch on it real quick, was Corey Bojorquez. Signed back with us, which I was happy because they were talking about maybe bringing a guy from the CFL in.
We talked about that last week.
Yeah, and I'm not harping on anybody from the CFL. These are all athletes, people. I'm not harping on it. I just personally wanted Corey back. Corey had one tough season last year.
Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't his best. But if you look back in his prior seasons, he's been great for us. Unfortunately, we got to kick the ball out around
the
here.
ball.
Hopefully that's going to change when we get this new regime in here and we get this offense figured out. Okay. But I was glad to see Corey come back. I'm not going to, people were getting him such, oh man, I don't know, his leg might be getting old. Oh man, he struggled.
That's my
last
worry,
year.
But
hey man, he struggled last year. I'm not going to shame the guy for having one bad season. I'm not going to do that. And you know what? Who has longevity in this game? Not your running backs. They're usually the first ones out. Your quarterback might have a pretty good career if he's got the protection and he's not getting knocked out.
yeah.
But your kickers, they last forever. So I'm not going to say Corey's, oh man, Corey, he had a 35-yard field goal. Did you forget that 35-yard field goal against the Raiders? Shut up. Give the guy a break, man. He'll be fine. I'm glad he brought him back, but I also want to talk about the trio of bringing him back and Andre Smits and your long snapper, Rex Sunahara. We kept that trio together and we needed that. That's kind of a core thing on special teams. We know we need a field goal kicker. Duh. We know we need a good punter. Duh. But what's important is that long snapper too. We haven't had a great long snapper since Charlie Hillett. So that was our guy. I like Charlie. Shout out to Charlie. But we got those core guys back. So there's your trio of special teams is coming back this year, which is good. So we're not having to fill those holes, So
AB learned from his mistake by signing Dustin Hopkins to a long-term contract for big money. He just said, one more, let's see what you could do. One more year, Smith. It was one more year.
Just don't draft the kicker in the first round.
Don't draft the kicker. I had a question for you that I missed. Do you want to still play Dwan Jones on the left tackle? Someone asked that.
Yeah. Yes. And I think you can move him over to guard. I think we could still do that. Maybe trying him. What's it hurt? Maybe trying him in at guard and see what happens. Maybe being more on the interior and him causing more space instead of worrying about that edge rusher. Him giving more space, and that man's a mountain. He can move. He can move. He can move people. He can get you that hole. So I'm not opposed seeing Dwan out there moving over to a guard position to create some holes for the running backs. But if we are playing Pittsburgh, I already know, I keep saying it, Dwan Jones is TJ Watt's daddy. So you got to put him out there just for them Pittsburgh games if you're going to do that.
KB Young said, would you
please stay healthy, Dwan. I want one whole season. We got enough guys to come in and out. Please, sweet baby Jesus, let's keep Dwan safe this year. All these guys safe. But I want to see Dwan hasn't had one full season since he's been here.
So much potential there too.
I love the guy, man.
So much potential.
Quick feet, how big he is, quick feet, and just he made was pushing. He made TJ Watt look like a carnival toy that you win. Stuffed animal.
It's hard to say as a Browns fan that he had an offensive line guy that did that as quite as dominant as he did. And that's encouraging to see. That's why me and you, this podcast, even the Bearded Browns, even Browns Morning Brew, this land media as a group are rooting for Jones because we like the kid. That's just because he's a Buckeye, but you just like the kid.
It helps.
Yeah, it helps. KP Young says, would you add Debo for wide receiver help since we need depth? He gets hurt too much. I need someone to stay healthy. James Frank has joined my squad. And what I mean by that, he says, y'all know I like Mekhi Lemon, but I'm just going to say that Omar Cooper Jr. is the real deal. I won't be mad if we get him. He was just in for his top 30 visit. And that is where we're going to transition to our 3-round mock draft. All right. I'm going to try to have Sam on again. We're going to go over this maybe in a couple of weeks. Maybe it's going to change. Maybe, our feelings about certain things are going to be different. But me and Sam are going to run them. And maybe it'll be longer next time as we get more information about players. Maybe you can draw it out to the 7th round rock.
I'm going to say this. I rushed into one. I talk about this, man, like college playoffs weren't done yet, or the championship wasn't even done. The NFL season wasn't done. We already got guys doing mock drafts. I'm like, slow to put the brake, pump the brakes. We don't even know who's going to be here. Somebody might. I
was like, Sam, you want to do a mock draft? He's like,
yeah, I was right. I forgot, man. So I'm going to keep it real 100 with you, Angel. Angel hit me up and we were going over the show's topics today. And he's like, get that mock draft in there. I'm like, oh. So I hurried up and did it within a half hour, and I'll get in it once we go. But I wish I had a little more time to dive into that a little bit better. But you know what? It's only one. It's just it's playing around. It's having fun. So yeah, let's get at it.
This first one's more or less playing around. Someone just said. Wright said, y'all hear about the recent defensive tackle signing? No. Tell me about it, please, because I just drafted one in my mock draft, and that might ruin it for me. Let me know about the defensive tackle real quick. James said, yes, sweet baby Jesus, be with Dwan this season.
Yeah,
Max said Lemon is straight, L.A., your wife says she did a 7th round mock. Maybe we can have her on. Let her do. She should be a side draft analyst there.
She was actually. We did them all last year, and we let her pop on. I remember that we let her pop on to give hers out. So
I wouldn't mind that. All right, let's get into it. Let me know about that defense tackle. I don't see anything on X or anything about it. Maybe a quiet signing. Let's see. First of all, you want to go first, Sam?
You go first. Do
your mock.
You go first. Me to go first? I have a surprise caller. Hang on.
Okay. This is my mock draft. This is my mock. Hold on a second. My first round mock, my first pick, my first mock three round mock draft. First pick, I'm gonna go with more Freeling, tackle Georgia. I think a left tackle is important. That's the only thing you don't have right now. So you need a left tackle, and you need to get it right now. Monroe Freeling, tackle Georgia, left tackle. Let's go. Max Campbell said DL addition from San Francisco. Let me know his name because he might have been here in Cleveland before. If you can tell me. Pick number 24. My first receiver that I'm going to pick is the guy that I love, Boston. I love Lemon, but I think Omar Cooper Jr. is what you need on this team. Omar Cooper Jr.'s got hands, he's got speed, he knows how to run routes. He's a not small, not too big, but people are comparing him to Jarvis Landry. And if you can give me Jarvis Landry here reincarnated, I'll take that all day. And then my second pick, my first pick in the second round, Christine Miller. He is a defensive lineman. A lot of people forget that our defensive tackle was hurt last year. May not be ready this year. Also, the Buckeye kid, what's his name that we all liked? He got in trouble last year. He has some inconsistencies. I like him. He's a good run stopper. PFF score is pretty high. And my last pick in the third round, we were talking about tight end. He can catch, and most importantly, he can also run block. And he's a Buckeye. Always got to have some Buckeye in my mock draft somewhere. Max Clare, he's a good pass catcher and a run blocker. Perfect for my personal opinion. Perfect for the Todd Monken offense. And the defensive tackle they got was Khalid Davis, 1-year deal. All right, that still works out because you can draft somebody. They probably won't draft someone in the second round, but that's going to change. See, now that's going to change my mock because if they got somebody, that means the guy's not going to be ready for next year. What is his name? We were just talking about it, man. Collins. Malik Collins is not going to be ready. So they must have just got this defensive tackle to fill the void. All right, your turn, Sam.
All right, I went Spencer Fano. We need line help. That's Freeling was there, and I really would have liked to take Freeling. I mean, I'm thinking of Fano, right tackle. I don't know. We'll see where we're at with that, but he's good. He's not bad. But I'm kind of. I got to go and look at more because I know Freeling's stock went up since the combine, and I got to go look at more tape on guys. But I watched that, and Spencer Fano stuck out to me more than my old guy. I think I said his name wrong, but Maui Oga.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, Maui Oga. But Spencer Fano, they give him a little criticism for short arms, but you know what? Watch the kid play. You know what I mean? If we're trying to get the young blood in here, he's that guy. So is your Freeling, like you had said. And then I went at 24. My guy wasn't there. I did a PFF. And everything was going swimmingly. I'm like, PFF. I started doing it. Round 1, I had Fano. 24, guess who was there? My guy, Denzel Boston, was there. And then I don't have a subscription to PFF. And PFF's like, well, you'll get 1 round. You want any more rounds? 25.
Yeah, pay for it.
Yeah, I said, well, hang on a minute. I ain't doing all that right now. So I went on another site, and that's where I had pulled this from. And Kevin Concepcion was there. So I took Kevin Concepcion, 6 foot, 196, good separation guy, good change of directions, good football IQ. I want a bigger receiver. That's why I keep screaming Boston. But Concepcion was there, and that's the guy who I went with. You know, I think he can be moved outside and inside slot. You can move him around. And then I went we're trying to fix line, man. Max Ironcore. just another beastly of a guy, man. I watch this guy. He gets after it. He gets guys out the way, and he takes care of his job. He's a brute force to be reckoned with. So I mean, we talk about an offensive line fixing it. These are some names that come up to fix that, and I still like going offensive line at 6, receiver at 24, and I would go another offensive lineman. We needed the young blood here. And then I think that's Josiah Trotter, Missouri linebacker. We have temporary fix here right now after losing Devin. So I think that we have to go and find another guy. Trotter's that guy. Although he's a Mike backer. I think Schlesinger will hold that down for a while. He's 6'2", 237. I think he can be moved around too. He's played. They've played for so many years. He can move around. Yeah. He'll be fine moving around. But I went linebacker, and I was scratching my head at that pick, man, because I'm like, man, this nickel corner stuff's throwing me for a loop.
And I'm with you on that.
Man, and then I was looking at safeties. I'm like, man, there's a lot of good guys on the board still, man. But I'm like, let's shore up that linebacker problem we have, because I mean, JOK is still up in the air. Devin Bush is out of here. We bring in Quincy Williams. I feel like that is a help, and it's a patch. But we're going to need some help there at that linebacker position. So I'm going to do more. I'm going to do a little bit more research. Like I said, this was quickly thrown together. But yeah, my first one in the PFL was working out great, man. I'm like, I got my lineman I want. I got Denzel Boston. We're ready to win the Super Bowl, man. Let's go.
Well, Max Campbell thinks you got 39 right. And he said, after last year's draft, I trust the scouting department with linebackers. And also, too, you did pretty good at drafting a linebacker there in the 3rd round, because he could develop behind Quincy. And who we have. We have the best linebackers coach in the league in Tarver. So, yeah, that's a good future pick there. Normally, 3rd rounds is a guy that you can plug in and then develop anyway. So that's a good quick pick without even doing research on, in my opinion. That was a solid pick. Well, those are our picks this month. Next month we'll do 4 rounds, slowly increase it. We'll have to do some homework now, man. We're gonna kind of see how close we can get it.
Yes.
Let's see if a quarterback drops in 7-6 round. Maybe we can draft one of those guys, like a LR or whatever his last name is.
Eller. Drew Eller. Yeah. It's to say, man, I was sitting there when I was doing this draft. I'm like, it's not real. But I'm like, man, Tate's right there. I should have taken Tate. We'll get the offensive lineman at 24. Because we need a guy, But then there's, I don't think Tate's going to be there at 6. That's my problem with all that. This is how this mock draft went, but I don't think in this draft coming up that.
I posted some on
receiver out. I think he's the first wide receiver out, and I think he's out before we get there.
I posted something on Facebook today that there's 4 Buckeyes that can go in the top 5 if it falls right. Definitely 4 in the top 10 for sure. And that's crazy for that university to have. You can have Sonny, you can have
his brother Lorenzo.
Tate, you're gonna have Tate, Averill, Averill, Sonny, and then Downs. You can go in the top 10. That's and that. He can if they desire defense first. Tate will fall to you because there's no way, because Mendoza's going 1, so that gives you 5 picks there to kind of Reese, that's his name. It'll definitely be the first time Buckeyes went for the top 10. Reese. Yeah, Averill Reese.
Averill Reese is great, and you're probably right, man. These guys are going to go quick, but I'm hoping that he's still there too, because we talked about probably needing safety help also.
Yeah, Downs is. I did the left tackle because that's the need. But I'm big on best player. I really am. And by the end of this, I probably will have the best player pick. But that's what I did last year. I thought Mason Graham was one of the best players at that time, and it's proven out that he outplayed some of the people in the top 5. So
yeah, I'm swinging to fixing everything and not this year going best player available. I just feel like we have fixing to do. We want to win games. We got to give guys opportunity. We have to give the quarterback opportunity to throw the ball and be protected. We have to have a running game that goes. It all starts with this line. It starts with this line. It starts with this line. We got to get that going, or you're going to see what you saw last year. You're rushing passes. They're not getting it out fast enough because the line's collapsing. These guys are running chickens with their head cut off. But safety, Lorenzo Styles Jr.'s out there too.
Yeah, he can
Sonny
be a
Styles' brother, and he's nasty. He's quick.
He's quick,
nasty.
man.
I mean, they come from a lineage. Their dad, senior, he played. He was linebacker at Ohio State. They all, you know, they were all their whole lineage is all football, man.
KP wants to know if you could trade back with Dallas, would you do that and get both of their first? I think their first is a 12 and 20. I could be wrong.
We'll have to see. I'm going to do a little bit more.
Dude, you have 12, 20, and then you have 24. Oof. I mean, that would be tempting. That would be something that we'd have to look at. But we are out of notes. That means we're going to run out of here. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in tonight. Thanks for the comments, the love, and the respect in the comments. No one made fun of anybody. No one was disrespectful. We all were respectful. Even when the Shedeur topic came up, people were very loving and kind and respectful. So appreciate that, guys. Someone was cussing each other out. Thanks for tuning in. We will be live. I will be live next week sometime. What day? Tune in. I'm a random guy. I have family. I try to fit it in when I can fit it in. But Sam's going to be live tomorrow, Saturday at 10 a.m. You got Lance Riesling on, talking about the draft and this upcoming free agency that just passed. And then we will be live 7:30 with the I was going to call it Browns Morning Brew, Bearded Browns podcast. 7:30 all platforms this Tuesday. Tune in. We don't know what we're going to talk about yet, but it's going to be a fun show. Me, Mike, and Chad. Thanks for subbing in for me, by the way, this Tuesday. A lot going on. My daughter had a intramural game for basketball. She played good defense, man. She was like she was a defensive sniper out there for the first time playing. She was just like, it's funny watching kids that age play basketball because they get underneath the hoop and they shoot like 12 times. And then it bounces out. And then
I was going to ask you, that's her first time playing a sport like that? Okay,
yeah,
cool.
She goes to a private school, so they're doing basketball for the next 2 weeks and then volleyball. They kind of get them ready because they do have a basketball and football team to kind of prep them, give them experience in it. But she likes basketball. So
I remember my sons going to the Y. They were at the Y and they were doing it. And you'd have it was all like half court. So it was half court and it was the width of the court, not the length. And they would have 1, 2, 3, like 4 teams playing. And they're these little kids, man. I just remember because there's no dribbling. They're running around. They're like, I got it. It's like my kid was great, but I'm like, at some point, I'm like, shoot the ball, man. Just running around. He's like playing tag. I'm like, shoot the ball. But that's funny. You'll see them up there trying to lob it. But I remember those days those are good days, man. So you're enjoying all that. So that's nice.
Yep. Arlo's birthday, man. He turns 1 next Saturday.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's gonna be intense. So I'll probably do a recorded show and then just post it on the weekend. We'll see if I have time. But thanks everyone for tuning in. Appreciate the love. Max says, great show, gentlemen. Very insightful and thought-provoking. That is what we're here for. That's why we have beards. When we think, we rub our beards like this. Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Appreciate y'all, man. Peace out, James Frank. Everybody in the comments, Max Bell, KP Young, all you guys out there, man. We will be on tomorrow at 10, Morning Brew, like Angel had said. And special guest. Let's go. Tune in.
Go Browns.
Go Browns. See you.